I didn't build this because I was calm. I built it because my mind wouldn't rest. The noise didn't stop, not the world, not my thoughts. So I gave my hands something honest to do. Light by light, piece by piece, something growing instead of shouting. It hurt, some days more than others, but the pain slowed me down, and slowing down changed things. My head stayed messy, but my heart got quieter. This world didn't come from a plan. It came from staying, from choosing not to destroy, from choosing to build gently. I don't believe the future has to be feared. I believe it's something we shape with care, with patience, with respect for the ground beneath us. This isn't escape, it's practice.
Hey everyone, this is I was gonna repost a new video. Somebody, Aaron, had asked me to post a video of my fairy garden, and so I decided to remake it because there was noise in the background, and but I was going to give you a better look at it at night. So this is I pretty much wrapped it up tonight. I finally finished most of it, but I wanted to. Everybody keeps saying, "Is it cake? Is it this that?" No, I actually decided to do this based on Willy Wonka, how my interpretation of it was, and so uh, just a second. Yeah. Okay. So you're hearing the pop right now. That's actually fog coming out right there. It's kind of hard to see. But y'all didn't see it with the fencing and stuff that I put up, but I'll turn the light on and give it a better look. I decided to do it like this because, like I said, and originally it was just going to be this platform that you see here. Um, when I went to mount it to the table that I have it on, it wasn't going to work right. So I created it's one. It's kind of it's not really thrown together. I did it with what I had to the effect of how to redo this. So I'm gonna go through step by step on what things are, and then I'll turn the light on so you can see it. You know, without because normally this part of our house we don't have it lit up. We only have it lit up by lanterns and stuff like that. Um, but the lighting you see is the big one back there with the bucket. That's actually a piece of driftwood, and I mounted a light bulb socket in there and wired it up. It change. I can change it any color. I can change everything, all the colors through my phone. Everything is connected to my phone. Um, the flowers you see in here are made out of basically like OJ bottles, Capri Sun, or not Capri Sun, Hawaiian Punch bottles. If you look underneath, actually, that's how I do my fog machine. It's kind of dark right now. I'm sorry, guys. But this is how it looks like in the dark. And so going around, um, I briefly said what this was. This used to be a manger scene, and it was kind of falling apart. So I decided to make it into a fairy house. The white wood you see there is cedar, came from the land on me, from where I live, and like I said, the flowers that you see are made of a variety of different bottles and spoons and plastic spoons and forks and stuff like that. Um, I was originally gonna. It was good. I thought it was gonna be taller than it was. Is the background that back there? But my wife diamond paints, and so that's in the background down there. Um, and so that's I put that there, and it's kind of unfinished back there because it's not really supposed to do a lot of. It's there. Um, this house right here, I am fascinated with um, cob housing and things like that. So I mimicked that aesthetic because I really like that. This mushroom and this mushroom. Well, my cats. Um, my cat. Sorry, guys. Um, it started with those two mushrooms. I was just trying to figure out how to make mushrooms, and those were my two attempts of the mushrooms. So I was like, okay, well, what am I going to do with these two mushrooms? So that's when I started building this. And so, um, one of my favorite drinks, those are Calypso bottles. And one is built like this, and the other one, it's covered in diamond drills because everything that my wife don't use, I use, and I have it within all my art. Um, but this bottle is actually uh, unique because I put another bottle on top of it, so it illuminates all that. There's a couple of there's two or three gnomes in there, and also there's a fairy there. I've got some other fairies that I'm going to add to it. I'm actually going to add some flying, so I'm going to have some kind of contraption for them. But originally it was just the top platform, and then I moved to the bottom, and the bottom is it's actually still kind of damp because I put it in it today. Um, Polyester batting that goes in pillows and blankets and stuff like that. That's what that is, and I sprayed it with water so it will. Once it dries all the way, it looks more like water or a mist, and that's what I wanted to kind of hide um, the structure that it's holding. It's supposed to look like it's floating, and that's the way I was doing this. So it is connected to a fog machine. That's how the fogs. Um, but I'll turn the big light on here and I'll show you what it looks like. Um, um, what it looks like out from. Sorry, guys, my house is. We're rearranging things. Um, this is what it looks like in the light. I think it looks a lot better in the dark. Um, kind of hides the imperfections, but I love it. Love the way it turned out. Really, I do. Um, it gives you a better look on how everything's put together. These are actually jewelry and beads and just stuff that I came up with in my head. There's the and like y'all saw the pictures before. Like I was actually these right here were not here today. I've kind of wrapped it up because I started a year ago and I had some other things come up that I needed to make and learn how to do. And then I got back on this, and it's not the project is not ever going to be done because I'll either add more to it. And some people say when you say you're never going to sell something, you wind up selling it. And I hope I don't wind up selling it because I've always wanted to try my hand at this, and I loved it. And it's been a really 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 cool project. Um, but I just the way it turned out could not have been better. Like I said, it looks so much better at night. I mean, it looks good in the day, but when you see it at nighttime, uh, it just makes it better. There was one thing forgot to mention on this one. That was all the stuff that you see like the houses and the the cave there. The colored part is actually clay. It's just my wife had a friend. She dropped off. She's an artist. She dropped off a bunch of stuff, and there was these clay in there. And I decided, hey, let's do something with it. So that's there. I wasn't going to originally put a fence there because I was like, fairies fly. Why do they need a fence? And then, of course, I've got this little walkway here. Mind you, that's the fog machine. Is basically mosaic tiles that were broke up, and I made the little thing, and I'm still not 100% sure on what else I'm going to do. In the other video, I don't know if y'all, I'll put you down there. These little mushrooms here, and this lamp, that lamp, and that one. Let's see. Those are all. Me and my brother are diabetic, and so I emptied them out, cleaned them up, and I used them as lanterns. So that's how I got those. And then mounted them. We had one of those little wind chimes that were colorful. It broke, so I took and made the poles out of them. So that's what I did. If I would have stayed on it, I would have had it done by now. But I wanted to learn some other skills, and so I decided to. I put this on the back burner because my wife was actually doing her dining paintings here, and we have an extra room. She's like, "Well, I'm just gonna move my stuff in there, and then you can put that there." So it kind of lit me to once we moved to here, I got it finished, and so that's what I did. A lot of people say, "Oh, it looks like it's a cake." Actually, those are pumpkins. I did that. I put a pumpkin there, and they're like, I thought it was going to turn out to be like a Halloween kind of thing, and I was like, I don't go in that direction. I wanted to do Willy Wonka, and so, like I said, this is something that that I just envisioned. I did. It looked different in my head than what it turned out. So that's how I did that. The flowers, I just started cutting stuff up. Um, really not, um, excuse me, a professional, but I like challenging things. And so, but this rock here is it's actually lightning glass. We had a bunch of it at the bottom of our hill, and so it's always been these always been a part of my life. So I put it there. Um, so as far as weight goes on it, I'm pretty sure, probably altogether, it probably weighs about probably 150 pounds. But the top does come off and it does move, but I'm not going to do that. Once it's there, it's going to stay like that because of the way I've gotten everything. All the lights you see are LED, so they'll last forever. And if they don't, they don't. The only one that really is that one I can change it anytime, anywhere. But the other ones are just LEDs. You can see some of the light coming on the sides. That is, I put LED Christmas lights up in there, and then put the rock is spray foam, and that's how I made that. These little mushrooms here are just cut styrofoam in half, balls in half, and then I had wooden dowels, and I made those little mushrooms, the ones that don't light up. But that's it. And so I hope that this has inspired you. So anyway, thank you guys. And if you want to see more of it, let me know. I'll be more than happy to. But that's it in a nutshell. So y'all have a good night and thank you.
If this spoke to you, don't let it pass in silence. You don't have to agree with everything. You don't have to know what you believe yet. Just acknowledge that you heard it. Like the video if it resonated. Share it if someone else needs to hear it. Subscribe if you want to stay with this work as it continues. Supporting this channel helps keep these stories honest, independent, and free from the systems they question. However you choose to support, thank you for being here.